As I walk in, so as I walk by, I was like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? I've been in for a couple of months." So this is your first time. As I walked by, I was like, "Oh, I see. I have something to talk to you about the conversation, and I come back to them and it's like, my coach it's really good. How about you? Because we talked about this.
Yeah, so typically, so we're going to go at this.
We'll want to have you stand with the changes. And also, it's like this. What happens if we had this? We build it out one more segment. This segment is also the between that process. It's like, so you're that's what I keep saying. Well, when we suggested doing the process, so here, that's literally so we can continue that. But I think a lot of that has to do with if you wanted to use this busy for us.
Yeah, there's a method where it should be. He used to be full time with me, and then he likes to kind of do his own thing. Like this, like yourself. His goal is
Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to another installment of Startup Bellevue's meetup at Microsoft Store at Bellevue Square Mall. Welcome all. We really appreciate you turning out. How is everybody tonight? A little full. Okay, great. I see some new faces. I see some old faces. Can I get a show of hands? People who have been here to our meetups before? Okay, awesome. So we have a lot of familiar faces. We have also some friendly faces here. How many of the people in the crowd here came to us through meetup.com? Show of hands. Okay, so again, about half of our people are coming through meetup.com. That's good to know. Those of you who are not with meetup.com, go ahead and sign up and get signed up with the Startup Bellevue meetup so that we can track some of your comments and such. We can take your suggestions. And for those of you who are with meetup, make sure that you introduce a friend to the meetup, and we can go ahead and continue to grow this out, and we'll fill the whole entire store. My name is Glenn Burnett. I'm with Startup Bellevue. I want to thank the Startup Bellevue crew for putting all of the tech stuff together, and want to go ahead and take you on a little bit of a recap on what we did for last week, and then we're going to talk about some icebreaker pitches before we get into our evening's feature presenter. Okay, so bear with me just one quick moment, and I promise you that this presentation, these slides here, are going to be 10x better next week. Okay, so here we are. We're going to have Michael Elliott from RocketDog Communications presenting for us. Recapping last week, we had Graham Clark of Graham Clark Photo and Breakthrough Photography. He went in depth with his marketing on specifically on pricing. Now, we don't get to have this type of a marketing presentation very often where someone goes just way down low level on one area of marketing. And Graham Clark brought us through on pricing and talked about tripwire pricing, where it is so important to have customers just to start off with so that you can continue to keep them in your pipeline. We talked about being able to set prices so that you can acquire those customers. We also did 60-second icebreaker pitches, and we love doing this now because we have a lot of people out here who have a story. They have a problem out there in what they see as the business ecosystem, and they want to be able to get that story out and have people resonate with it and be able to contribute to making those solutions. So today what we're going to do, again, is we're going to do a couple more of those 60-second icebreaker pitches, and I'm going to have a few people volunteer. You'll raise your hand, I'll give you the microphone, you'll stand up, and you'll tell us your name. Tell us an issue that you see out there in your environment, and tell us a little bit about what you think would be a solution for that problem. And then tell us what kind of resources you need. If you needed an intern or if you needed an employee, what kind of interns or employees or partners would you need to be able to solve that problem? So let's go ahead and get started. And somebody volunteer for me and tell me your name. And okay, I believe you are Andy.
Hi, I'm Andy, and yeah, basically virtual reality is getting pretty popular right now, and then Oculus Rift is also coming out. So basically the problem is there's no virtual reality data right now. So like let's say you're using an iPhone that you can't really watch it, except using like an app. So basically the goal that my project is going to do is, I have a prototype over here. So basically, it's enabling your phone like to do a virtual reality thing, like on basically every single device. Like as long as you have an Android, like any mobile web browser enabled device, you should be able to see the virtual reality. And yeah, this is what we're working on. And I have a very small team right now. So what I need is someone like who have experience doing startup and give us some advice on what we need to do next on marketing or anything else. Yeah. So we are just all of us is just developers. So yeah, someone with other different experience would be great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's Andy. So if any of you know somebody who is relevant to his cause, please do connect with him afterwards. Who's next? Is it me? Somebody? How about I go next? Okay. So my name is Glenn Burnett, and I am a student of this entrepreneurial ecosystem. And I have a particular problem, which is I need to be able to match a glut of interns. I have a lot of interns that are coming out of the area schools that I would like to be able to partner them with some of the startup companies, some of the other larger, well-known companies. And my problem is I need to be able to screen through these individuals so that I can qualify what it is that they can do for the companies, which I also need to screen to be able to determine what it is they need in a resource. How much experience do they need? How much pay is going to be involved? How long is the trial period? And how can we convert those interns into meaningful employees, meaningful contributors, but especially with that mindset of entrepreneurship. So I want to be able to get these interns out there and practicing the same thing that all of these companies are doing, which is they're entrepreneurs. They're all building a way to get more things to market to be able to satisfy the needs of the customers out there. I want to be able to pair those two things together. Those are my problems. What I would need to be able to satisfy those problems is a lot of contacts, referrals, surveys to be able to sort those things out, screen it out. And I'm looking for anybody who has either a large contact list and knows very well who each of those companies are and who those different resources are, or somebody who can get the word out for Startup Bellevue and have companies come to us and tell us very clearly what it is they want in an intern or a prospective employee. That's my problem. That's what I need to accomplish it. My name is Glenn. You can email me at glenn@startupbellevue.com. Anybody else? Okay. Okay, there we go. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Gabriel from Montauk. I'm actually, is this right? You guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, so I'm building a mobile app. It's a web-based app that what it does is it allows people who have no knowledge of the finance industry, no knowledge of stocks. Pretty much all they have is like this inherent the zeitgeist that if you invest in the stock market, you'll super risky and you'll lose all your money. And so they keep all their cash in these tiny, like 0.001% checking accounts. Terrified of the market. And so what this app does is it basically, for any stock that's out there, it'll provide you with a few basic some key metrics that you can use to kind of get a little more understanding of this companies that you would invest in, but at the same time, it's not overloading them with stuff that you have to be very financially literate in order to make sense of. So, like, I'll give you an example. One of the things that it does is with your normal stock price chart, it has these peaks and troughs, and everybody looks at that, and you know, unless you're an analyst or something, you have no idea why it's going up and why it's going down. So, one of the things this app does, it has nodes that are inserted along the graph that when you bring your mouse by it, a little pop-up will basically tell you exactly what happened there in the news. So, like, for example, let's say Tesla stock explodes because they released news about, okay, now we're going to sell this new battery, the whole battery, the business battery. So that sent the stock up, like, a huge amount in a very short amount of time. So if you were to look at the stock price chart and you're just somebody with no knowledge of Tesla or any stock, you've heard about it, you're like, yeah, I want to invest in it. This will, it'll let you read the graph as far back as you want and understand the history of the company and why it did what it did, and why it is where it is today. So what we need right now is we need artists and we need some back-end payment stuff, because while it looks really good, a lot of like analytics portions and stuff are like using some D3.js and some UC.js, some JavaScript libraries. So it looks really good, but some of the other things we need, like, especially for the mobile, they're going to need some artistic touch. So, artists be willing to kind of do expensive times, say what it's going to look like, how much it would cost to do this and that. That'd be fantastic, as well as anybody who's great with back-end payments. Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Gabriel. It sounds like Bloomberg would love to hear how you solve that problem right there. So without further ado, thank you all for your icebreaker pitches. This helps us to feel a little bit more comfortable with each other and continue to get your ideas out there. Without getting those ideas to your audience, you're going to have a very difficult time being able to solve the problems that you have. Speaking of which, getting ideas to an audience and being able to drive that design to allow the audience to take advantage of the marketing efforts, as this is a little bit more of an overview, high-level overview marketing efforts, we're going to introduce our featured presenter. We have Michael Elliott of RocketDog Communications. He's a creative entrepreneur. He's been doing the business for about 15 years, been very successful. He's partnered with some really big names out there, including Microsoft. We like to see that they're battle-tested. He's also done a lot of the volunteer work also out there, and continues to get a design element into the story that is being presented out there. So everything that we've done here, where we're all giving our stories of what it is that we want to be able to do to accomplish things in business, he's already seen these stories over and over again, and he's found a way to take what you do and what you do and what I do, and to be able to turn it into something that is compelling through a marketing design. Like to say, without further ado, let's bring on Michael Elliott. He'll tell us everything he's all about. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. So thanks so much for coming out tonight. I appreciate your time. This life that we lead is pretty busy. And thanks so much for giving us. Before we get to the stuff, one of the nonprofits I do some work with is called Puget Sound Business Journal. It's about activist teams getting behind the camera. And it's just like school. So every quarter they have to get up and give a presentation on their topic. So it's not always easy to get up in front of a crowd of people and tell a story. But practice does make perfect. So keep doing it, keep doing it. So right now we're going to look at this white screen with black buttons on. It's fantastic. So pretty straightforward stuff. So when we were given the pictures a moment ago, one of the things that Glenn and I talked about was part of my job. Applying for this Microsoft or Expedia, those customers, is to take their thing, whatever that thing is, and help build a program in a way that you guys actually connect with them. So I'm a firm believer in you need to have an emotional connection with the product, and that's why we see it. So for instance, grab iPhones. Okay. How many people have Windows Phone? Okay. Right. Nike versus Adidas, right? All these brands, their shoes, cars are the same way. I mean, the car for the most part gets you from point A to point B. Right? There are people that are like, I'm a Subaru person, I'm a Chevy person. Why is that? Because they believe in that brand, because that brand has created such a story that you buy into. And that story, for me, it's really built around a couple of things. Visuals. So for me, making things pretty is easy. Making things pretty that work is where the hard work is. So it's really interesting in that I will show a design to a client and they're like, oh, that doesn't look like it's long at all. Like, it takes a long time to get to that one little part. So those are the interesting aspects of what I have to do. But essentially, companies like Microsoft, corporations, they usually have a lot of stuff that they want to do. What you really want to do is say, I just want to one grain or something. Anybody here seen that old movie, City Slickers, Billy Crystal? Right? So, the main cowboy guy, he's like, what's the secret to life? It's that one thing, right? And the whole movie's like, well, what is the one thing? Right? Well, the one thing is different for every person. But for me, that one thing is design. So design is the one thing that keeps everything together and makes it stand out from the other. So MP3 players were around a long time before the iPod came out, right? What made the iPod so magically different? Design. Right? Design's a critical component of developing a successful brand. I like to say that I work with clients. I love to work with clients that understand that design makes a difference. So if you just call me up and say, hey, Mike, I want a brochure, 3 or 4 pages, here's X budget, move this box here, move that box there, and I think we're okay. What I just heard instantly was, you're not my client. Because you don't value the power of design. Because, for instance, like when you're talking apps, okay, all right, so that is not quite the way it's supposed to work.
I think you have to scroll down. It's a PDF.
Yeah, it's okay. We checked it out earlier and it was working just fine. But one of the things you want to talk about is understanding your people, right? Who uses your product? Why do they use your product? Is it for productivity? Is it for cars, right? I have a van because I have my X number of kids and I got to shuttle them from place to place to place. It's amazing. I used to have a Chevy Tahoe, backup camera, all that kind of crazy stuff. Price point way up here, right? The Toyota van, price point way down here. All the same features, right? The van had the touch, open the back, camera, doors, all that kind of crazy stuff. Why is that? Well, they know that mom or dad has a bunch of stuff in their hands when they're getting in and out of that car. So the easiest thing that they can do is make it easy for them, right? That's how design and the interaction of design really helped them sell 1 billion of those cars. Right? The days of like painting the handles and all that stuff, how big was that handle? Right? Design plays a huge part in how that works from a functionality point of view. And then on top of that, there's a look and feel, right? Ads, website, all that kind of stuff. I think the easiest websites on the planet are websites for high-end cars. They may be the most simple websites out there. Really big picture, 3 buttons, and that's it, right? Why is that? Because if you, let's say you own a Ferrari, or that's the brand that you like, or aspire to own one day, you're sold, right? By the time you get to that site, you don't really have to do anything. Right? They want beautiful pictures of cars, beautiful pictures of people, and they want to get you to think about driving that car. So that's kind of how that process works. So, you know, for me, the audience is about, are we going to use it on the phone? Are we going to use it on the desktop? Does it need to be quick? Airlines. Probably one of the better examples of throwing things out on the internet and then quickly understanding nobody's booking tickets through their website. Why was that? Buying a ticket on an airline site years ago was 2 or 3 pages in, right? You got to find a place, off back your time, and then you can book a ticket. Every airline across the planet today, you can buy a ticket on the very front page. There's your form right there. Pick your date, your time, how many people, done. Right? That's what people use those sites for. They have all the other stuff about trip planning, car rentals. I know why they do that. Very few people use that aspect of it. So, and that's the other side of looking at analytics and seeing how quickly people kind of go in and go out of your site. It's called a bounce rate. So it's no different than how quickly does someone pick up your product, decide, no, I don't like it, put it back on. All those things work to success. So my job as a design firm, integrated design firm, is to shorten the sales cycle and then to build an affinity around whatever you have. So we did some work for talking about audiences. We did some work for the Girl Scouts of the USA out of New York. Who here has heard of the Girl Scouts? Everybody, right? Boy Scouts, all that kind of good stuff. So the Girl Scouts are no different than any other corporations in this country. Corporation, they got to put out product, they got to have people buy into that product, aka councils around. So they have to be relevant. They have to have a good adoption rate. So they have gotten to a point where their materials are basic. Right? Here's a picture, here's a color bar, here's a title of the program, and then they're shipping these things out to all the councils. The adoption rate for girls that were participating just kept going slower and lower. So Girl Scouts has to partner with one of their mandates is they have to partner with the corporate sponsor around the program. So we got a call, for instance, to say, hey, look, we got this thing going on with Firestone, and we want to create a product around helping girls to understand that there is more in the business of being in the automotive business than being a mechanic. Right? I said, oh my God, that's amazing. And they said, you don't even know what we're talking about yet. I was like, I don't even care. That's an amazing story. And I got this one, right? And they go, what are you talking about? I said, girls and guys in the room, I said, ladies, how many times do you wear heels in the car? Right? High heels. Pretty much every lady wears them. I'm like, how comfortable is that? They're like, it's not comfortable. Right? It's hard to press the pedals, all that stuff. Cars aren't designed for ladies with heels. How many ladies have purses? Same scenario. Where's the purse one? Right? Where's the duck? Don't have it. So, as an industry, one of the things that Girl Scouts loves to do is to help break down barriers. So we created a program called On the Road. So logo, patch, booklets, brochures, all that stuff. But we also created a game called Car World. Kids are 14 to 17 was our age range. We're going to have a license soon. Kind of have an idea about what kind of car they want because everybody has seen TV at this point. Right? Everybody knows what they want. Like, oh, I'd like to have that Ferrari right there. The answer is like, you know how much that Ferrari costs? No, I don't know how much it costs, Mom, but it's pretty and I want it. So we created a price matching part of the game. We also created I think it was 10 to 12 questions that actually came out of the driver's license application. So it was testing those. You could see how well you did. So there was all these 4 or 5 games. And so Girl Scouts usually has a program. We have to do a brochure, we have to do an online game, we have to do this, we have to do that. I was like, yeah, that's great, but you guys just told me that nobody pays attention to those things. So why don't we do it better? Why don't we make it look fun? So the game itself was actually built using Flash years ago. But depending on what time it was during the day, the computer knew what time it was. The color of the game would change the data. Right? So automatically. So it's a reason for them to come back to it. Their average user is about 4,000 euros a month on their previous games. We did over 100,000 the first month, 200,000 the second month, and so on and so on. And this was before social media. So the only way to encourage other girls to participate is you have to send them an email from the game. Like, hey, this is really cool, come check it out. So between the brochures, the game, events, it became the highest selling Girl Scout program in history. And you're like, well, what did you do? We just told you about what we did. But what we did is we told good support. We told girls that there are so many wonderful opportunities for you in this business that you should check it out. Right? And even simple stuff like taking a driver's license, right, which which usually we should not be doing. We launched into the second program for them, and they partnered with Dove. So who here has seen the evolution of a model video? Right? So a lot of work goes into people on television and in print ads. That's a little different than what they really do. Right? So you're creating a story, an audience. So we partnered with Dove, and we created a bunch of stuff, and one of the things we did was a game called Beneath the Knee. And one of the beauty about it is we wanted to create engagement. So we made a game that girls, especially teenage girls, are unique. Everybody's unique, but especially teenage girls. Because teenage girls do this. I wish I was taller. I wish my hair was like your hair, right? I wish I did this like you, right? So they see their friends differently. Their friends see the exact opposite of them, right? Meaning, hey, I have curly hair. I hate it. I wish mine was straight. Well, I have straight hair. I wish mine was curly, right? That's what girls do, right? So we created a game where the girls could come in and tell how they saw their friends, and then they can email it to them. So all of a sudden you get a bunch of engagement with the girls interacting with their friends and getting really positive notes and comments about how their friends saw them. So it was really good. It was really great. We had an article written up about it. It was fun. So, it's who are they, what do they want to need? So for you, the need is, I need to understand stocks without really knowing stocks. Right? For yours is, I want to create an environment that takes people out of the everyday world and gives them an immersive experience. And this would be I do this every day and I love doing it. I went to dinner with a bunch of friends and I always ask questions. Hey, what do you do? How do you do it? And poor people at the table like, oh, boring. I'm like, no, what do you do? Like, oh, I'm a teacher. Oh, I'm an accountant. Oh, I do this. I'm like, oh my God, those are wonderful things to do. They're like, they're boring. You're in marketing. I'm like, look, I'm not in marketing. I'm in the idea of building and telling you stories. Like, so for you, this one lady was a lawyer. She was an immigration lawyer. I was like, wonderful job. You have the ability to make people's dreams come true. Are you kidding me? Wake up every day and be like, yes, next, right? Next person. And she's like, it gets a little monotonous. I'm like, you don't understand. You're seeing it from like, oh, yes, here's this. I do it. I've done it a million times. The person on the other end just became an American citizen with your help, right? The teacher. She taught. Teachers are. I love teachers. I think they get. I think we should give them probably $1 billion. To be honest, kids can be tough, and especially teenage kids. I said, look at it this way. There's going to be that one kid that gets up on stage, or like me, built a design firm because I really enjoyed art class with Mrs. Hill. 10th grade. It's a long time ago. Every time I go home, I make sure I go see her. Right? We're Facebook friends, so she gets to see everything that I do. Right? I've talked to her students. And so as a teacher, you have the ability to impact somebody a lot. It's hard, but you have the ability to do it. Okay. So anyways, I went around the table and I helped them tell a different story. And it was a whole different conversation at that point. So when you're talking about your products and your brands and all that kind of stuff, you got to figure out what's the one thing. What's the one thing that makes your product special, unique, and different? And then let's tell a story about it. So, you guys have any questions so far? I'm doing a whole lot of rambling. So to your comment earlier about design and those kind of things and development, talk about your developers. We deal with development all the time. I have development on my staff. We work with big companies. This is the greatest thing ever. I have a product. It sells itself. It's the greatest technology ever. I don't need it to let go. Oh, fantastic. Then you're going to be like a billion other products that don't exist. Right? Good or bad, Microsoft used to be that way. Right? This store is a prime example of how Microsoft starts to understand how branding and how design makes you say yes to the service, makes you say yes to the Xbox, all those things, right? So The worst mistake that you can do is don't think about design, right? So if you have to choose, you know it's going to be this function, right? And the function is I press this button and this happens. Okay, great. You can certainly improve that process. I can really improve it by the usability from a look and feel. Right? What's the UI? What's the UX? That's how people say this, right? The iPod's probably a fantastic example. The Surface, you know, they compete with the iPad, and in theory they win because of the keyboard, right? Design, like this happened.
I was talking about one of the really famous salesman who did like a ShamWow and like a bunch of stuff. Basically, it was just like not a great product, but he sold a ton of it. And they interviewed this guy. And basically, he's talking about the VCR when it first came out, and it was a total failure because it was just this box that you put something in and like nobody could understand it. So when they saw it in the store, they were just like, "No, that's not me." And he's like, "Listen, if I had designed that, like it had looked not even it wouldn't have you wouldn't recognize it because you wouldn't been able to see all of the nuts inside of it exactly like the tapes would be see-through and translucent in such a way that somebody who's looking to buy this thing would be able to see like, oh yeah, I think that they have a understanding of how it worked, and like instead of having all these weird little controls, there would just be a big button. Like the way he describes how he would change the design makes you think like, wow, that's actually how it had been designed. It would have just been, people would just turn it off the shelf. So it seems like what you're saying is it's a question of framing it. You're not just saying, this is what it looks like. You're saying like these are the ideas and the emotions that people have anchored to that. Like, in the store you've got all these like bright colors, you've got all of that. So when you think of Microsoft now, like the branding is very like, oh, high energy, right? Yeah. So it seems like that's you're kind of leveraging those different anchors that people have in those products.
Correct. For me, I use the word experience all the time, right? Experience design, experience build, all that stuff. Microsoft figured out a couple of years ago that the old big blue tired business isn't working for them, right? Like Apple's killing them. Like Apple is, it used to be Apple Computer, by the way. Like that was the name of it. That's still the official. It's gone. So Domino's is probably one of the most recent companies to lose Domino's Pizza, right? They have figured out we do more than pizza. So they have a whole ad campaign around knocking off the word pizza out of their logo. Right? Companies evolve. That's what they do. So they spend time creating these brands, lots and lots and lots of time. But yeah, it's a whole lot easier. So like this one here, right? It's all about the idea. It's a whole lot easier to sketch things out than it is to build them out and then figure out, oh yeah, this is really hard to use. Right? Sketch, sketch, sketch. Every designer that works for me, they'll come in, especially in today's world, they'll just sit right down on the computer, start to make logos, and start to like, hold on something. Like I can guarantee you right now, I can print out about 50 logos on a piece of paper with a pencil about half the time that you're working on that one. Right? Ideas are ideas. Sometimes your first one's amazing when you're done. Never happens, by the way, because this is typically what happens. You do it, next 50 logos later, you come back to the first one, you're like, that's the one. Right? But you got to work through the process. So a lot of people get stuck in this whole ready, fire mentality because they're waiting on perfection. In today's world, perfection doesn't exist. Actually, any world doesn't exist. Anytime. There's a new term that a lot of people use today, which is the rapid prototyping term, right? They will literally build a product, they will test it with a small group, and then they will literally throw it up to the internet. And they will wait for people to say, love it or hate it. Do this, and then they will, in essence, iterate on the fly. So Facebook is probably, of course, there's a billion people using it, but Facebook rolls out an update every Tuesday. You and I might not even notice, but this button is moved up. This thing is colored, right? Every time Facebook rolls out a new interface, everybody starts stupid petitions about go back to the old. They're not going to go back to the old. Right? This doesn't work. But just start, right? The idea that you're going to wait for your product to be perfect, this is what's going to happen. You're going to roll it out, and it's going to be amazing. You were going to be the first one to market. Now you're the 17th. Which basically means nobody's using your product. Right? So you can either get out and work it, or you can sit here, whatever, and wait. Like I have a friend who's a trading name guy. He basically has sunk a ton of money into a product, and then eventually finally calls me and says, Mike, I think I'm pulling it. I was like, oh, really? He's like, yep. Because it was a great idea a year ago. There were only 2 products like it on the market. It's a web-based solution. I was like, oh. Now there's 35. He's like, it's what is it? Right? So sometimes being first to market is a win. Sometimes being first to market with a crappy product is a win. So you got to spend time paper prototyping, wireframing, whatever that may be. Test out your ideas quickly. Right? In today's world, you can test things so much faster than we used to be able to. Right? I used to have to build logos and ads, and then put together a user group. Hey, what do you think about this one? What do you think about this one? Hey, try this one, try that. Nowadays, I just put out you're done. So, design twice, build once. Who's actually, real quick, so who's ever built a house or did remodeling on a house? Right? So, one of the rules of remodeling is measure twice, cut once. Right? Why is that? Because you're going to cut that 2x4, that piece of sheetrock. You're going to get up and you're like, really? An inch short. It's the same thing. Design twice, build once. Sure.
So I have a question. When you were talking about rapid prototyping and get it out there, and how quickly it is that people can go through these prototyping and get it out to market. There's so much competition out there. How do you differentiate yourself when it comes to being able to aim and have a design and be relevant at the time that you're sending it out there? How do you do that?
My answer, to be honest, is the design side of it, because there are plenty of people that rapid prototype and they throw crap out. Right? They don't put any good branding around it, any good look and feel. So what happens is you may have a tool or a site that actually works well, but it doesn't look right? Like that button that you really want people to push on. On your model, it's just an outline with a word. In my model, maybe it's green, nice big bold type, right? So you need to spend some time working on how it looks before you throw it out there. Because there are more, like I said, in today's world, people are just throwing. And they're like, if it's going to stick, it's going to stick, right? How many people in the room know people that build apps? Right? Most of us, right? How many people know people that build apps that are in the App Store? Right? Like all of a sudden, the number is a whole lot less. Why is that? Right? Because to get in the store, you gotta have a decent app. So hopefully that helps in that regard. But be okay with feedback, right? So one of the methods in today's world is build it, spend some time on it, and then let it go to, let's say, this half of the room, right? You're my tester. I'm gonna let you use my tool for free in your comments for free, and you're gonna give me feedback, and we're gonna do this for 3 months. And I'm gonna iterate. Like, got it, good feedback, boom, and then I'm gonna roll it out, right? And that's where today's real successful products are coming from. People that are using that methodology versus just like, and I'm letting it loose to the world. So success, I mean, we just talked about some of those things already. Be okay to fail. Let's start there as an entrepreneur. I would love to say that I woke up, I started a design firm, and I make $1 billion, and I don't have to do anything else. Doesn't work like that, right? I'm a services-based company. I don't have a widget, right? This store is full of widgets. Like I can make 10 billion controllers, right? I can't make 10 billion creative ideas, right? I can't recycle it. It doesn't work. So I have to make sure that for me, success is different. So I always, when I start with a client, I always ask a couple things. Budget and goals, that's my first question. Meaning, do they match up? And then my third question is, what does success look like to you? It may be completely different to me, but what does it look like to you? Right? If yours is, I need 5 million units of Forza sold in a quarter. Okay, that's success. Like you don't care how I do it, I need to sell those. Okay, fantastic. Let's go back to that goals and budget question. So we got a goal. We know what success looks like. Do we have the budget to match? Sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. Like I need you to do all that for $50,000. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Last time I checked, that's a worldwide rollout in 27 different markets with media, television, events. That doesn't work. So ensuring success, and I tell you that not just from a client's point of view, but also from yours. The last thing you want to do is to deliver a product and you look. And the client looks at it and goes, "Are we not in the same room? Do we not communicate with one another? Because I still, this is what I do, right? I need people to use it. I need quick adoption. It needs to be easy. You deliver me something that's amazingly beautiful that I cannot work whatsoever. Right? VCRs. You deliver me a technology with 1,000 buttons on the front. I have no idea how to use it. Okay? So success is important. It doesn't always happen. It's important to understand what it is for both parties. And then you got to work hard every day to make sure that you're in success. And it's not just in your business. I mean, relationships, school, your job, your business, right, your family, whatever that is, you need to figure out what that means to you. And you need to bring those things. Like even for the Girl Scouts. They basically just said, we have a formula of doing a brochure, doing a logo, doing a game, and they were in the rhythm of just saying, this is what we do before. And my thing was it successful? Well, okay, great. If you just wanted then why'd you call me, right? You called me in Seattle to come out here to New York to talk about a program that you guys would have been fine hiring somebody there to do it. Believe me, look, there's great firms all over the world, which makes my job really hard. But my job is to do creative love projects that fit. So if you really want to do something different, I mean, our tagline, and I have cards up here you guys can take if you want one. Our tagline is brave new design. I didn't say the best design. I didn't say the most creative design. I said brave new design. Meaning, I'm Microsoft. I have a brand. It's pretty bored, static, design, right? But by the way, go a little crazy. Go hear from every project manager ever over there. Go crazy. Don't pay attention to brand guidelines. As a brand guy, I'm like, hold on a second. I gotta be honest with you. I'm gonna do some crazy campaign that has nothing to do with Microsoft whatsoever. You know what's gonna happen? The Microsoft brand police is gonna be like, hey, by the way, that sucks. Right? So we have to understand the world that you work in to ensure success. Right? I have to know where's the boundaries that I can question. Still come up with something that's right. So success is different. It's important for me, and I would assume that it's important for you. I talk about this one all the time. You never get a second chance to make a first impression, right? 10 pages. I'll do this one here so you guys can see some design work. But that's your, from a website point of view, that's your first night. So the one in the middle. So if you've ever went to Microsoft.com/careers to look at job openings, you may or may not have seen this site because it's your quintessential, Mike, our site sucks. Please come in here and help me. Great, here's a whole new design. We're going to take that, we're going to take it inside to our development team, and then be here. So, it's pretty funny. The one with the unicorn with the laser coming out of its eyeballs, hilarious. So we get hired sometimes companies like Microsoft that says we need to find talent. Right? Everybody's looking for developers in this world. Right? Everybody's looking for designers. It's tough. So you got companies like Microsoft, Google, every major tech company is here in Seattle, right? The greater Seattle, every month. So if you ever said, when I grew up, I want to go work for Facebook, Facebook has an office there, right? I want to work for Google. Guess what? Google has an office. I want to work for Microsoft. Microsoft has a billion offices. There's an article just recently about the flood of people moving from San Francisco and Silicon Valley to Seattle. Why is that? Housing, believe me, housing is expensive here, but it's half as much as it is down there. The median house price in Silicon Valley is $1 million. I don't know about you, that's a lot of money for your median house. That means there's some really crappy houses for $900,000. So we have to create campaigns that says you want to come work here. So that's really good. For instance, Microsoft just did their big intern surprise concert last night with 35 you guys were part. Why? And they are competing. They're competing for talent every day. It's probably, I don't know if most of you guys would understand this, but there's been a couple bubbles when it comes to technology in this town, in this world, and the first, and things have disappeared. Right? Companies, the fever of finding talent today might be greater than in the tech bubble heyday. It's nuts. So, I mean, it took me a while to find people I would. So it's really hard. So, by the way, see this thing opportunity right there? Like, that's an example of telling a story. And it's not like finding a job. Right? It's not like Microsoft's the greatest. It's opportunity. Right? Opportunity is different for every person. So when I came back to them and said, the theme of this website is opportunity, they were like, why are you theming a website? It's like, because you're competing against 90 billion other tech companies. Right? If you just said find a job, boring, basic, right? Opportunity growth. Right? We did recruitment materials for Office. So, do you guys know that there's 1 billion people on the planet that use Microsoft Office? 1 billion people. Isn't that crazy? So I get to say, when's the last time you woke up and your job every day was to affect 1 billion people? How many companies could you actually work for and say that you work on a product that 1 billion people touch? Very few, right? And Office is boring, right? PowerPoint, it's Excel, right? Good word. 1 billion people. And think of all the wonderful stories that go along with it. How many startups use those tools to manage your money, to write proposals, right? Manage your business. Right?
We know a legal company that is working with the Microsoft Suite in their accelerator that is doing contracts, being able to modify contracts across the line, so you can accept and revise contracts using Microsoft Office.
Yeah. So, technology is insanely wonderful. For most of Microsoft's life, strategies, they're getting better at it. They do a good job at it. But in that campaign, I had to literally tell you why you want to come work on the Office team. Because Google, by the way, is right there. Facebook is right there. But why in the world would I want to come work on Office? It's old and boring. Because it touches 1 billion people. It's amazing. Like, not for me. My work doesn't touch 1 billion. Somebody's does. If I can get you fired up over Office, that's pretty good. So, hence the unicorn with the lasers. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. So please, you guys ask questions below if you have any. Here's my information. Please feel free. Like I said, I got some cards up here if you need them. But you can send me an email. That's my Facebook stuff. Of course, RocketDog has a Facebook as well. Twitter account for both me and RocketDog. Yeah. I love social media. I love technology. I love friends. And I love making friends. Those are the things that help me. So, anybody have questions? Anything? Sure.
How often do the budget and the goal
Match up?
No, not. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Most of the time. So this is what we hear a lot. I want this thing. I have no idea how much it costs. I don't have a budget. The reality is, everybody has a budget. They just don't want to tell you what it is. Because if they say, Michael, I have $100,000, I'm going to say, here's an estimate for $100,000. The reality is, that's the way I operate simply because now I've taken out going back and forth. Like, let's just be honest. It's like dating, right? Like, I like you, you like me. Okay, guys, if I be moving on. Like, doesn't mean you're a bad person. Doesn't mean I'm a bad person. Doesn't mean I'm not the right person. So, I hope I take every client for me as a relationship. Like, I'm invested. I want it to be successful. Well, I want you to get invested too. Great, let's move all the BS out of the way, right? Have $100,000, great. I will honestly tell you, that'll work, or no, that will not work.
Okay. You also, if their goal is like on the other side, and you're going, you touch $1 billion people. I don't get that.
Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose in that regard. Like, you have to do a campaign. We'll go back to that one. You have to do a campaign that says it's better to work at Microsoft than it is to work somewhere else, right? Putting an ad in the paper isn't better, right? Going to a concert with Maroon 5 helps. Now, how much do you think they pay for that? Right? Like, the tech war for talent is full tilt. So they're spending money on all kind of crazy places. But for me, like, I don't deal with that kind of stuff. But I may say, hey, someone will tell me I need a website for events. I need to be able to register people. I need to be able to manage them. I need to be able to manage users. I need to be able to set up rooms like this and all that stuff. And I need to do email marketing around it. Okay, great. All right, so how many people are going to go to the event? It's a 3-day event. Great. We're going to expect about 50,000 people. We got 7 rooms we need to manage. I got $10,000 for that website. It's not realistic. Like, it's going to take me $10,000 just in meeting time alone with a company like Microsoft. I hate to say that, but now RocketDog is not this huge firm. So there are times that I've literally gone into a company like Microsoft and been on the other side of the table, and a potential client says, "So I'm currently working with this firm, and I know most firms in town. Okay, yeah, I know this guys. So what do you think about this website?" Like, oh, that's nice. What was the budget for that? And inevitably, this is what I hear. What do you think the budget was? I don't say, oh, no, a rough number, because I don't know everything that's going on in the background. Let's say it's 200,000 or 50,000, doesn't matter. And I literally have heard this. So this site that you just said is $200,000. I was billed $700,000. And I was like, oh my God, what happened? And he would go, so every time the client, the agency showed up, there was 8 people on that side of the table and 1 person on this side of the table. The average bill rate for that agency was $200 an hour. So there's $1,600, and I walk in the door. Great, how many times do you meet with them? Once a week. So nothing else. You're spending money in inappropriate places, right? So sometimes I win because I will, I'm not going to charge you $700,000. So there are times that a client may say to me, Michael, the budget's $700. I don't know that I need $700. Now we may spend $700 by building a website and doing social media and doing email marketing and doing some collateral. Oh, well, how do you think I can do all that for that budget? I think you're smart, right? We did a project for Microsoft Friday. We hired a big firm. Big firm does work. Here you go. Pretty boring, pretty basic. We got a call. Mike, I need you to come in and take a look at some stuff. I got your name from somebody. You get creative love, right? Like your stuff, you put some energy into it. You're like, oh, okay, sure, all right. So I go meet with him and stuff was pretty boring. But he's like, tell me how you think. I'm like, all right, man, boring. It's boring. He's like, yeah, nobody's using it. And I have to ship this around the world. Nobody is using these materials that we just spent all this money on. I said, well, hey, let's redesign it. Aren't they giving these things back to you in templates in Microsoft Office products so that they can edit? Because it's going to 25 different countries, so they have to localize it. It's like, so aren't they just giving it back to you so you can do that? They're like, no, they're just giving us PDFs. And then we're shipping them off to Germany. Germany's cutting them up in Photoshop and putting their own crap on it. I said, well, that's once again, not a waste of money, right? But it goes back to that ensuring success. Like, they're not asking for the second, third, or fourth. They're just saying, you have to do posters, brochures, and whatever. Fantastic. Here's a budget, here's your materials, and I'm out. I'm asking, how are people going to use these? What does success look like to you? Success is people are using the materials. Oh, fantastic. Let's make it so you can edit it. So we did all that. The adoption rate was 1,700%. And that's ridiculously crazy, but people actually started using the stuff. I mean, I got a screenshot from some VP somewhere that he saw one of the banner ads on the website. He was like, saying it's like, it actually looks right. It's like, I don't know what you guys are doing over there, but you're doing a good job. Right? So I had that client for a couple years. But that's the game. It's the game you play. It's a company. Anybody else? You guys are easy runners. We did a whole lot of talking. So, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Another round of applause for Michael, our guest. Really, your message really resonates a great deal with this bunch here, including the Startup Bellevue crew as well, where for us, design really is about coming out here and sketching it out right through this. This is where a lot of it comes through. We bring it out to you. You help us to refine it. You help to give us some of the direction in how our brand is going to get out there. So I really appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you very much. Stick around a little bit, meet and greet. We have had some success here with a meeting with one of our attendees, meeting with another one of our former presenters, and trying to put together some kind of connection there where he has some opportunities that may come up the way. And if that doesn't work out, we'll continue to pitch in. Thank you all so very much. Start Bellevue, meetup.com. And I want to go ahead and put something up on the screen here as well, just to let you know what's coming up. We have a big event happening July 24th at the Microsoft Visitor Center. That's Building 92 on the Microsoft campus in Redmond. This is it right here. So if you want to take a quick moment here, this is through Eventbrite. So if you want to go visit the Eventbrite page, just go into Eventbrite, search the crowdfunding and co-working event right here. That will bring you an option to select the Startup Bellevue event. This is what the page will look like: crowdfunding, co-working event, Startup Bellevue Friday. That's the day after next week's meetup here. That's what it looks like right there. It'll give you directions and a map there. You have all the information. Go ahead and select the tickets. Get the confirmation on the tickets, and then come on out and see this crowdfunding and co-working event. It's going to be a very exciting time. Bring your friends, and let's have a great time over at Microsoft. Thank you so much. Round of applause for everybody.
All right.
How'd they do?
Yeah, you did good. Yeah, I like it. Definitely. I took some stuff out of that one, definitely, because we're revamping a lot of different things in the company right now.
I keep remembering the camera because I'm a wonder.
Oh, no, it's all right. I was moving it around. I was moving it around with you. Yeah, it was pretty good, though. No, definitely.
Definitely.